Okay, so things just got much better for the Philadelphia Eagles, as following a couple injury scares to key players, they got some huge news today, and it's exactly what fans were hoping for. Meanwhile, the Bucs got some surprise injury news of their own, including an update on quarterback Baker Mayfield that maybe has the potential to impact this game. Also, speaking of Baker, he just sent a message to the Eagles regarding the Florida Heat, while in Philly, Za'Darius Smith and others seem ready to step up in the absence of Nolan Smith. So let's talk about that and all the other latest news starting right now. So the Eagles vs. Buccaneers Week 4 NFL matchup is just a few days away, and in the lead up to it, things have taken a surprising turn for Philadelphia. As while the Bucs are banged up and dealing with injuries to multiple key players going into this game, more on that later, now so are the Eagles, as the injury bug hit Philly hard coming out of their game versus the Rams, and it looks like they could also be shorthanded going into this game down in Tampa. As in addition to the shocking news that the Eagles got on Wednesday, that both Jacorian Bennett and much more notably Nolan Smith have been placed on IR and will therefore miss at least the next 4 games, and also the news that we got way back on Monday that cornerback Adoree Jackson is also likely going to miss the game on Sunday, the Eagles also got some other surprise injury news to begin the week regarding 2 more key defenders, as their starting linebacker duo of Zack Baun and Jihaad Campbell are also apparently dealing with injuries of their own, and ones that were significant enough to keep them out of practice to start the week, as the rookie Jihaad Campbell has a tricep injury, while Zack Baun is dealing with a knee injury and was seen wearing a brace on his left knee. And it goes without saying, but obviously both of these guys are critical parts of the Eagles' defense. I mean, we'll start with Campbell, who's off to an extremely impressive start to his NFL career and is firmly in the Defensive Rookie of the Year race. I mean, he's currently the #1 graded defensive rookie by PFF, being ranked 4th, and 1st in weeks 1, 2, and 3 respectively. He's also a top 10 graded linebacker in the NFL, being ranked #9 specifically with an 84.6 overall grade. He's also already got 18 total tackles and a forced fumble. He's been good against the run, he's been effective as a blitzer, and he's also been phenomenal in coverage, as he's allowed just 2 catches for 11 yards all season, while allowing just a 56.3 passer rating when targeted. And he's also PFF's 3rd highest graded linebacker in coverage. So yeah, safe to say, Campbell has been really good, so to not have him would definitely be a major blow to this Eagles defense. But honestly, not having Zack Baun would be an even bigger loss, considering he's arguably the Eagles' best defensive player, and so far this season, it's no secret that he's been a monster. I mean, he's currently coming off a game where he had 7 tackles, an interception, a pass breakup, and was the Eagles' highest graded player by PFF with a 90.3 overall grade, and their highest graded player in coverage with a 90.1 grade. Not to mention that he's a top 5 graded linebacker in the league, specifically being ranked 4th with a grade of 88.8. And the eye test shows he's carried over his momentum from last season and is one of the very best linebackers, possibly the best linebacker in football right now. So again, not having him would definitely be a massive hit to the Birds defense. However, I don't think we gotta worry too much, as there's still time left in the week for these guys to heal up, and at least at this point, it does seem like both guys are trending towards playing. As in regards to Baun, Elliott Short-Parks reported that the star linebacker himself said all was good in regards to his injury, and ESP predicted that Baun will play on Sunday, so that's definitely a good sign. And then Jihaad Campbell said that he is day-to-day. And what do you know, both guys were reportedly practicing today along with cornerback Adoree Jackson, and Zack Baun also had no brace on that left knee, so yeah, safe to say both those guys look like they are trending towards playing on Sunday, but if not, at least the Eagles have a couple good backups waiting in the wings. As I feel like we forget, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. had a really good training camp and got nearly all the first team reps at linebacker, and he was in the mix to win that starting job all throughout camp, and he performed very well. And then there's the rookie Smile Munnon Jr., who also had a good camp and has some nice ability too. So again, I do expect both Baun and Campbell to play on Sunday, but if not, at least the Eagles have some good backups that can step up and fill that void. Moving on though, obviously the biggest injury news of the week was Nolan Smith getting placed on IR after re-injuring the tricep that he tore back in the Super Bowl, and as I said in my last video, that's no doubt a massive hit to this Eagles defense, but Luckily, they have guys behind him that are ready to step up, most notably Josh Uche, Jalen Hurts, and also the new addition Za'Darius Smith.
We talked about that. It's just the next man up. Obviously, that's an injury that we don't want to happen or didn't want to happen. But, you know, it's football. It's a part of the game, man.
How much do you feel the responsibility of filling the production in the role?
It's not much for me, man. I'm going to get it in either way. It's just now me learning the defense of the base defense. Obviously, they had me just working on certain packages now, but it's time for me now to go back to the house and learn the whole playbook, you know, because he was giving me time, you know, week after week, just learn more and more. So now it's just going to be me now learning the base defense.
So there is a bit of I don't want to say pressure, but it's like, all right, we really need you this week. Like,
it
open
ain't
it
no
up.
pressure. I'm year 11. You can't put no pressure on me. I was born to do this.
As much as it really does suck to lose Nolan, and it no doubt hurts this defense, I'm also very excited about these other guys and to see what they're able to do now given bigger roles. I mean, like I talked about in my last video, Josh Uche has been phenomenal in a very limited role, so with more snaps, I'll be interested to see how big an impact that he's able to make. Jalen Hurts has had a quiet start to the season, but I think it's only a matter of time before he explodes, especially with the bigger role. And also, based on what he just said there, Za'Darius Smith sounds ready to take on an increased role, and we saw what he did in his debut against the Chiefs. Plus, honestly, if you just look at it, and Anthony DeBona pointed this out on Twitter, Smith might be the best option to fill in as the starter for Nolan Smith, given that not only is Za'Darius a great pass rusher, but he's also really, really good against the run. So he's a more balanced overall edge rusher, and it would make sense that he steps up and fills that void. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but again, I'm confident that all these guys can step up. And again, I'm also curious to see if Azeez Ojulari finally sees some action as well. Meanwhile, another guy who may have to step up this week is Kelee Ringo, as with Adoree Jackson potentially in line to miss this one. Now again, he was practicing Thursday, so he might be able to go, but on the occasion that he's not, then Ringo is the next man up. And the good news is, it sounds like he's ready for this opportunity.
Where is your confidence level based on the way things went this summer and where you are right now?
Based on how anything went this summer, that doesn't define anything, no outcome, no results or anything like that, man. I just each and every single down just continue to get better, and when opportunities may come, they fall, and I take advantage of them.
What are some parts of your game you've worked on since training camp ended? Obviously, we can't watch practice anymore, so just how do you feel you improved, and what have you been working on?
I would say I'd rather show you than tell you, but lateral quickness, man. I just want to be a playmaker out there, you know. I feel like this is a production business, especially at the corner position, man. I just be able to find a way to get my hand on the ball, you know, and just be sticky in coverage. I'm a huge believer in what you put in the game is what you're gonna get is what you're gonna get out of it, you know. And I've been putting in time, you know. I just feel like the results are gonna lay where they shall fall. And I've been putting in time for any moment that comes to me. So yeah, I feel like the best thing that you can do for yourself when opportunities do come is just stay prepared, no matter what that is.
You know, obviously there are some very real concerns with potentially starting Kelee Ringo, especially after he lost the starting job to Adoree Jackson in training camp, after the Eagles pretty much were banking on him to take a leap forward this year. But even with those red flags, I think Ringo still has some intriguing ability, so I'm interested to see how he looks and if he can step up whenever his number is called, whether that's this week or down the road. Moving on to some other injury news though, it hasn't been all bad for the Eagles, as Will Shipley actually returned to practice this week after being out the last 2 weeks with an oblique injury, and Lane Johnson has also been at practice and is trending towards playing after suffering a neck stinger versus the Rams, so that's definitely good news. And for the Bucs, we also got some huge updates there as well that have the potential to change this game, as it seems like a couple Tampa offensive stars in wide receiver Chris Godwin and left tackle Tristan Wirfs are closing in on a return this week, as both guys were out there at practice again to begin this week after starting their ramp up back to playing last week, and it seems like they are both trending in the right direction. Now, Godwin was not out there on Thursday for practice, but it seems that it's all part of the plan in ramping him back up to speed and just getting him ready to make his return. So we'll monitor that, but my guess as of right now is that he probably will play. And, you know, obviously nothing's final, but if both those guys can play, that would no doubt give a massive boost to a Tampa Bay offense that is already banged up on the offensive line and will be without their top weapon in Mike Evans for this one. Also, a surprise inclusion on the Buccaneers injury report this week has been quarterback Baker Mayfield, who's been limited at practice with a bicep injury and was seen wearing a sleeve on that right arm. But even with this, there's no doubt in my mind that Baker is going to play in this game, It's just going to be about how much will this injury affect him and his ability to make every throw that he needs to on Sunday. I mean, that's definitely very noteworthy, as Baker isn't at 100%, and if the bicep injury is limiting what he can do in terms of, again, just making every throw that he needs to, then that definitely could impact the Bucs offense in this game. But again, don't expect him to sit this one out. Switching over to the other side of the ball though, and I think this week clearly marks a key point and possibly a turning point for the Eagles offense. Because obviously last week, we all finally saw what the Birds offense was capable of once they let Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown in the passing game loose a little bit. So this week, it's going to be very important that they build on that rather than obviously going back to what wasn't working. And A.J. Brown obviously seems to agree with that.
I think it just kind of took too long to get there, or to adjust, I should say, with all of us, not just in some coaches, but players as well. We like to always say take what they give us, but at times, we're takers. We can take whatever we want, and just having that mindset, and that's kind of what I was kind of leading to after the game. Kind of got spun out of context, but that's cool too.
And how do you balance that then, now that it is public that that's how you want this offense to be run? What do those conversations look like with the coaching staff going forward then?
See, that's where I kind of messed up at, because, those are my feelings, and I expressed that to the world. So, but obviously, if that doesn't go that way, obviously everyone's going to say, AJ's not happy. But obviously, the goal is to win the game, and obviously we want to do that first. But like I was just saying, I think it just kind of took too long for us as an offense to adjust and be more aggressive. When one thing's not working, I was just saying, let's not continue to keep trying to hit our head on the wall and see if it's going to work. And let's mix it up and do what we need to do. So that's what I meant by that. And so, yeah.
Definitely agree with AJ there. I mean, he didn't say it like this, but basically just don't be stubborn. Simply adjust and do what is working. So hopefully we see more growth from the Eagles offense this week. And side note, it'd be really nice to see the pass game open up the run game a little bit as well.
I think we're probably going to continue to get what we're getting until we show that we can handle that. And that's what's probably slowing up Saquon, because they're trying to take him away. And obviously, rightfully so, because he can change the game. He can change the game. So we have to help him out as well with the passing game, getting that going to help the run game. Last year it was kind of like the opposite. So it's so now we have to do the opposite. And so it's just kind of taking longer to happen.
No doubt, a huge part of fixing the run game is getting teams to back off a little bit by effectively passing the football. So hopefully they're able to build on what they did last week and the offense has more all-around success. Now, of course, one of the big storylines for the Eagles offense going into this game is going to be how they handle the Bucs blitzes. As of course, Todd Bowles has historically had a lot of success sending heat at Jalen Hurts in the past. I mean, they've done it a lot, and it's wrecked the Eagles' offensive game plans at times. So the Birds are going to need to be ready for that, but the good news is, after being blitzed at the 5th highest rate in the entire NFL through the first 3 weeks of the season, it seems like Jalen is more ready to deal with it than ever.
I think we've done a good job so far with it. I think teams do that to create chaos with it. And I think Jalen has shown that he's continuing to develop and become better and better and better at handling it. A couple things that happened in the last 2 games where he's made some big time plays. You don't stop seeing it until you make those plays. And I think when you see the Kansas City one to Devontae, there's been a bunch, but particularly the Kansas City one to Devontae, and then the touchdown against the Rams, that's going to put more and more fear into the defense to be able to run that.
What are the keys to beat that blitz?
Well, it's just you look inward. You look inward, like everything that I've said the last couple weeks. It's about controlling what you can, being on the same page, and ultimately executing at a high level.
Definitely seems like the Eagles are ready to handle the Bucs blitz. Again, they've been blitzed a lot this season already, and honestly the past 2 weeks, I think they've done a decent job handling it, so hopefully that continues and grows this week as well. Moving on though, and switching back to Baker Mayfield, he kind of just sent a blunt message to the Eagles ahead of their Week 4 matchup. As of course, you've all heard the report by now that the Eagles will be traveling down to Tampa a day early, so as to try and just get as acclimated as possible to the heat down in Florida. But Baker says that won't work, and on the contrary, it may actually hurt them. As he told Mark Sanchez via the Rearview podcast, quote, we'll have a good game plan, obviously, to try and tire these guys out. Advantage for us. We're in Tampa. The Heat, they're not used to that. I know there's already been the stories that broke about them coming down to Tampa a day early. I don't necessarily think that helps them. One day doesn't get you acclimated to this humidity. I think, honestly, it makes them think about it more when they get down here earlier. So, interesting comments from Baker there. I definitely do think, maybe there's some truth to that because, again, I said it yesterday. I don't think going down to Tampa a day early is going to help the Eagles adjust too much to the Heat. But also, Baker does seem to be trying to send a message here, maybe playing a little mind games, but personally, I don't really care. I'm just hoping the Eagles handle the Heat the best that they can, and much more importantly, they have a great game plan that'll help them expose this Bucs team, and they can finally get a win down in Tampa. And you guys know that I'm going to be covering that, obviously. I'm probably going to have at least one more video coming out probably tomorrow before the game, so if you don't want to miss that or any other content that I got coming throughout the rest of the season, then make sure you subscribe and you turn on notifications. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss anything. And also, if you did enjoy this video and you want to help me out, then please hit the like button. Again, it helps me out so much. Let's see if we can get to at least 600 likes on today's video. And also, hit the hype button because that helps me out as well. And also leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you don't want to watch another Eagles video going over some other stuff from yesterday, you can check this out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.